Welcome back to the series Excel One Step at a Time. In this video, we'll go over the process of moving data back and forth within a worksheet. If you recall from a prior video, a workbook is what we open up when we start Excel and contains multiple worksheets. At any given time, we are simply working with a small range of cells within the worksheet. For this video, I'm going to be working through a sample file that I created. I'll have this file uploaded to our company website for you to reference and follow along with. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. To move data around in this example, I'm going to be using the cut, copy, paste, and the clipboard tools in Excel. All the tools I need are in this area in Excel. You'll notice that there is also the Format Painter tool here. We'll be using this tool in a later video. In this example, I have a spreadsheet for Famous Company, which has 3 locations. The first worksheet has the names, job titles, and salaries of its employees in the California location. All this information is made up too, by the way. The second and third worksheets have the same information for its employees in the Arizona location and the Washington location. The last worksheet is supposed to be a listing of all employees of the company. As you can see, it's blank. Our task for this exercise is to combine the data in the first 3 worksheets using the cut, copy, paste, and clipboard tools into the last worksheet labeled all employees. I'm going to take a step back here for a moment and give you a bit of information on these tools. Cut allows us to temporarily cut a set of data out of a worksheet or range of cells and move it somewhere else. The copy tool creates a copy of the data you selected and allows you to place it in another area. In both instances, data that is cut or copied is temporarily placed on the clipboard. I'll show you where that is in a second. Once you have the data cut or copied, you will select the area you want to put it in and use paste to move the data there. There are different instances where you want to use cut and copy. I'll show you examples of both shortly. To begin, let's go over the California worksheet. Here, we're going to copy the data we want to move. The first step is to highlight the data. Once you have your range, you can copy the data in multiple ways. You can click on the icon in the ribbon here. You can right-click on your mouse within the highlighted data range and select copy, or you can hit Ctrl+C on your keyboard. You will know that something has been copied if you see this glowing dotted box around your data. As I mentioned just a second ago, when you copy the data, it is temporarily stored on your clipboard. If you click on the little icon here, you can bring up the clipboard and see the data copied. Now that we have the data copied, let's paste it in the All Employees worksheet. Here again, you can paste the data multiple ways. You can click on the icon in the ribbon. You can right-click on your mouse and select paste. Or you can hit Ctrl+V on your keyboard. Either way works. When you paste data, you will either want to paste it by highlighting the same number of cells you copied, or you can paste it by selecting the first cell with values that you selected. I'll do both methods for you here. We know that we copied over 3 columns and 10 rows of data. We could highlight that range, select paste by right-clicking, pasting it that way, or let's undo that. Select the first cell within the data range and paste it that way. I'm going to use Ctrl+V on my keyboard. Personally, I like the second method as it's easier since you only have to select one cell and paste the data instead of having to count how much data you actually copied. Eventually you get to a large data set that you won't know how many rows or columns of data that you copied over. So the easiest method would be to just select the first cell in the top left hand corner and then pasting it. Moving on to the next worksheet, we'll do the same process. We will copy the data and move it over to the last worksheet. However, we will do something a little different. As you can see, the number of rows that I have copied is greater than the number of rows I have available before reaching the total row. If I were to paste the data now, you will see that the total row has been overwritten. Here's where we get creative. Let's undo that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the data to the right hand side here temporarily. Then I'm going to select the total row data. Now I'm going to move it down. Pay close attention here. Once you highlight the data, if you hover over the bottom edge of the highlighted cells, you will see a 4-directional arrow. This means that I could click and hold on the left button of my mouse, and I can grab the data and move it around. I'm going to grab the data and move it down. Now I have room to paste the data. I'm going to highlight the data left to the right, and as I did with the total row, I'm going to move it into place, like so. And there we go. Okay, now we only have one sheet to go. Let's go over to the Washington sheet. Now let's say that the Washington location no longer exists, and the employees here relocated to the remaining locations. Unlike the California and Arizona locations, I don't need to keep a copy of this data on a worksheet anymore. This time I'm going to highlight the data and cut it. You can do this by either clicking the icon on the ribbon, right-clicking on your mouse and selecting Cut, or selecting Ctrl X on your keyboard. Once it's been cut, go over to the All Employees worksheet and paste the data where it belongs. Going back to the Washington worksheet, you'll notice that the data is no longer there since we used Cut. The other two worksheets still have their data because we used Copy. Going back to the last worksheet, I'm going to fix the total column to make it line up with the data, and we are done. At this point, if you want to clear the clipboard, you can go ahead and do so by, again, going back to the icon at the top, clicking on it, and clearing the data, but it's not necessary. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment on this video and subscribe to our channel. You can do this to view more tutorial videos.